Hey you guys, happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you and also with you. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. We're walking down Sunset Boulevard with adults on scooters. You know,
hey everyone.
It's my grumpy old man-ish thing. I know, don't break your ankle. So Joe is gonna do his Yoda impression
Robert.
today. Hey, Robert Escobar.
Hey,
Jay Bless. Happy Monday. So we're gonna roll through Hollywood, tool around. Joe's probably gonna take off because he's got to run some errands. And then he
might do a gaming stream.
Shavkat.
Hey, Shavkat.
I am grumpy about the scooters and the youngsters riding on them. Seriously, they just come whipping up the sidewalk and it's shocking to the system. It gives me whiplash. I'm kidding, a little bit, just a little bit. So we're heading towards Hollywood. I mean, we're in Hollywood, but we're heading towards the fun part. We just wanted to stop by the Hollywood Palms Inn and Suites and get a Canada Dry ginger ale in a can from the Pepsi machine first. For lunch, we had a wrap, and I had some barley with some beef in it.
Beef and barley.
Like ground beef and barley. Which is
What
really
about you?
delicious. How about you? Hey, She Clicks Bricks.
Hey, She Clicks Bricks. Thanks. It's good to be back.
Hey, Sunset LA. I try to cook something in the morning that I can also lately just like mix into my dog's food, enticing them to eat their food a little quicker rather than lingering over it. Screen gems, I feel it.
I like to eat their food throughout the day.
I know, but what happens is one of them eats the other one's food and ends up getting fat. Lambo will eat all the food if you leave it. Rip it as a grazer. So I've been making rice, barley, just brown rice, plain, and then ground turkey. Today I did ground beef, and I eat it for breakfast. It's pretty good. And then I've been coming home and having it in the afternoon too.
Hope it was good pizza, Shavkat.
But I wish I had pizza. Dinner tonight is still up in the air. I am gonna pick up some groceries on the way home. Looking forward to that. I'm out of maple syrup. My coffee was terrible this morning. Whoa! Have you ever put maple syrup in your coffee? Anyone? Oh my God, fried fish, French fries. That's one of my favorite fish treats, is like the fisherman's basket or platter. It usually has like two clams or three clams, nothing with a clam belly.
That sounds good, Jay.
A couple shrimp, and then like a piece of haddock. And fries. Rosaline! Hey, Tony Hemp!
Hey, Carrie!
Hey, Victor FX!
Hey, Victor! Hey, Tony, and hey, Rosaline!
The fish basket, it's all fried, golden fried. It was like the only thing I would like get as a kid when we would go to like to Maine or to the New Hampshire coast.
We will try to remember to check on that bird on Fountain again at some point. Remember the bird living in the sign?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's right around the corner.
We'll maybe have a bird update.
I'll try, remind me when I'm like, okay guys, I'm signing off and I'm getting towards, we always turn off here. Remind me, because I'll just walk a couple blocks longer and check on that bird. Thanks for reminding me about that bird. So I forgot what somebody had called that particular kind of sign, but is that a... I mean, it's an old sign, so it's not like one of these flat ones. So that's, sorry, we're all gonna get weird here. There was a bird living in that little nook. I never knew such a thing could happen, and it was pretty awesome. I think birds should move into all of them. And now I'm gonna keep looking for them.
Hey, Joe Hart.
I'm afraid of birds, but they're kind of cute on stickers and in signs and in birdhouses. But you know, they fly all over the world. They can carry diseases. Remember bird flu? I feel like towards the end of Boston, living in Boston, there was some end of the 90s, early 2000s. Look, Dave Chappelle, May 7th, 8th, and 9th. Crazy. 3 nights. There was like a movie that we also talked about during COVID where it was like biohazard. Somebody was setting up a biohazard in the city, and all the news stories in Boston were doing like somebody could put blah, blah, blah in a light bulb in this train station, and those passengers would travel here, here, here. I forgot what the movie was, but they were talking about it on the news. I think we were kind of obsessed with that at the time. But also, bird flu. That was a real nothing burger, what I just said, I don't think. Shotgun street sign, that was what it was called. Anyway, so I'm afraid of birds because I kind of think that they're probably going to carry some diseases intercontinentally. We'll go up here and stop talking about a frightening future.
Thank you all so much for watching on this lovely Monday. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and chat if you already have not.
It would help us with the algorithm. A shotgun street sign. Welcome to Barry Gordy Square. If you're just tuning in, we're in Hollywood, California. The Palladium is right over there. Red Wolf! Happy Monday.
Hey, Red Wolf.
Happy May the 4th. So I'm not really a huge Disney person, but I like it every 5 years. The big thing going on at Disney and Star Wars Land is now Darth Vader is going to be there.
Hey,
Which
user.
I don't remember him not being there before. I only went to the Star Wars part of Disneyland once, actually. And I don't remember whether or not Darth Vader was there, but apparently he was not, because it's a different timeline that Darth Vader didn't exist in. Who cares? Give me... Hey! Hey, George Burger.
Hey, George. Happy Monday.
Like, I think if I want to go to Star Wars Land, I want to see, like, the classic first 3 movie characters. I know, I'm old now. But I feel like the first 3 were the best 3. And then the next 3 were pretty bad. And then I saw one at the El Capitan. Yeah, one at the El Capitan, and which was like 20. I'm trying to remember. In 2015, what's that one? And it was really good. but I never followed up with any of the subsequent Star Wars. I can't remember the name of it either. Hey, Brenda Marshall.
Hey, Brenda.
Hey, Luciana. Happy Monday, or Monday, as we like to call it. And if it's Tuesday morning for anybody, happy Tuesday morning. It always smells so much like the pool over here. Yeah. There's like a pool on the other side of this, so we're not going to face the camera towards the pool. The sexy swimmers. Instead, we'll look at this dark, 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 dark gray building, this black building. Carthay Grand. Wow, did you love it?
Hey,
That's what it was,
Box.
The Force Awakens. This is a punk nightclub.
Hey, Derek.
Derek, welcome. The people live streaming from Disney, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Disneyland really, like, once every 5 years, because when they do something, they get every little tiny detail, and I love looking at all of the details of stuff. But you know, you ride Indiana Jones, and all along the way there's stuff to look at, a desk, an office, ba-da-da-da. Like, they just do it. It's great. The Star Wars was really great. I wish there was something like that when I was a kid, but I was pretty satisfied with my Disney World child experience with the e-tickets. Hey, Busy. Happy Monday. We're almost to Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, sorry. I just like punched you in the leg with my fist arm, my Hulk hand. I didn't mean to do it. That's why I like it every 5 years, you know? I don't think I could go multiple times in a year.
But if we had a free pass, we wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, if I had a free
An
pass.
annual pass.
Because there is a bus that goes to Disneyland. We see it when we're downtown all the time. I can't imagine what that bus is like, but I would not be opposed to taking the
I get you,
Disneyland
Derek.
bus.
Sometimes those streams are just fun to watch or have in the background.
Oh, I love the park streamers for sure. I kind of like the vicarious living. We streamed at Universal when we were
Annual members.
babies and
Annual pass members.
and new. And I
Maybe
also
3
love,
people watch that stream.
right, your mother, your father, and your grandma
sister.
too. Yeah, my sister. But Universal is pretty excellent also. I just like the history of that area, and then I love the movie tour, the cheap movie tour with Jaws. The Devil Wears Prada red high heel shoe is gone. No more magazines. At least we grabbed a couple. Hey, mountain bike. Happy Monday. It is cool and breezy.
Hey, mountain bike.
We're having an awesome day of weather. Actually, I have a coat packed. Joe wore a coat, but once you start walking,
Warm up.
you kind of warm up, and then the coat is Just a pain. It makes me sweat.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my-
look at the robot.
Did they have more than one magazine?
Hey,
They're selling for high
Lonnie.
dollars. I still have
Lone
one,
Entourage.
except we promised it to BD. But I'm sure we could sell it for high dollars and split it. You know, that movie only made $77 million, which is more $1 million than I have, but I guess it wasn't as... It did really well. I guess it wasn't on 444 on May 4th. Oh my gosh, that's like a magical time. Make a wish. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Derek. Oh, hey, mountain bike fan. At the I can't remember the name of this movie right now, but at the Skid Row Museum, they have a movie night. The Skid Row History Museum, they have a movie night, and they're showing this movie about a guy who lives in. Oh, they're carrying their lightsabers. We're gonna walk by the Star Wars bar. I forgot about it. And it's about this guy who's obsessed with Olivia Newton-John songs, and it's with Christian. I can't remember who. I saw it in process. Wow. That's pretty much it. But it still did pretty well. I'm gonna put a link to the movie. Because I can't remember it. I just saw it in passing and I was like, I have to remember this movie to watch. Tomorrow we're gonna go to Boyle Heights for Cinco de Mayo at 5 o'clock. It's 5 to 9. It's Mariachi Square. We're not gonna be there for all 4 hours. It's kind of, they're putting Meryl Streep away now. There she goes. Want me to see if I can get that red shoe? Yeah, we kind of are fascinated with Olivia a little bit. Bye, Meryl. Oh, they just push her right up against the truck rail. I'll have to check it out. You can always post links in our the members Discord too for stuff. Paloma. Oh, they've taken the door handles off this.
You think the Star Wars bar is slamming?
Yeah.
Did we pass by it?
No. You're gonna smell the blue milk.
Oh my god, should I be playing a Star Wars game on the gaming channel today?
Maybe Star Wars Legos.
I don't know if I have that.
You did. Oh, there's a Hollywood
There's
sign.
also a different Star Wars
We'll do a
game I
close
can
up.
play.
Somebody asked me a couple weeks late to see it. It's really dead grass today, though.
I tried to get into Star Wars Jedi or Survival or whatever it's called. What's the name of the game?
Oh, I remember that. That soundtrack. Twist of Fate, right? And there was also, guess I'm living in desperate times. We're talking about two different conversations.
Yeah.
Really bad remixes of both of those songs. I mean, 12 inches. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. The line is crazy. Let's see. Who do you... I see a Star Wars jacket. I see... Uh-huh. You get a... It's early though. It's early. We'll come back. Joe will dress as C-3PO. Oh, Shaking You. I remember that. I don't really like slow songs, except for I like her Carried Away, that slow song. I think that's the Xanadu soundtrack, or... And I like some of her slow country songs because I was like 4 years old.
Hey, Angela.
Angela. I actually, the movie Two of a Kind I saw in the movie theater as a kid. I made my mom buy me the ticket. I went to go see it by myself because who else was going to go see that with me? It's about a bank heist. And it's almost like some 1930s style movie. Like Topper, if you will. That's all I'm going to say. I highly recommend you watch it once. You may not want to watch the whole thing through, but it's a good beginning. And also, when you see a movie from that time in that city, I think it's New York, it could be any city, actually, from what I remember, it's always nostalgic to see how things were. I watched, like, Who's That Girl? A couple, maybe last summer, which is not a very good movie. It's not terrible, but Madonna's almost irritating in it, but also entertaining at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's not a very good movie, but it's kind of fun to watch that time. Because it was kind of like so of the moment in some ways. Anyway. I don't think they're going to let us live stream in the cantina. But we'll keep the cantina. Also, we're not going to buy a drink. We don't drink. Oh, I didn't give any spoiler, did I? I just said Topper. Most people aren't going to know what Topper is. You know what is always good to go back to, though, as far as Madonna movies, is
Hey, Paul.
Hey! The famous people are at an award ceremony tonight for Star Wars. Oh my god, that smells like pizza somehow. Or like burnt.
It smells like carnitas.
Burnt crust. Oh my gosh, here's a really famous person up here on the right. Also happens to be our patron saint, the lovely Myrna Loy. Microphone of my hat. There we go. Everyone's at the Met Gala, which is just down the street, right? The old MetLife building. I'm kidding. I wonder if Clara Kimball Young is there at the Met Gala. Or Latrice Joy. Oh my gosh. I wonder if Harold from Harold's Chicken is at the Met Gala. I would be if I were Harold. I always feel like every time the Met Gala happens, I'm like surprised it's happening when it's happening. I thought it was like well, I guess it is the spring. This has been a really confusing weather year. We have very little variant in the weather, but we had a hot couple weeks, and I think that just messed up my sense of season. Oh, Tequila Hollywood. I wonder how, is Anna Wintour at the Met Gala, or did she just sit this one out? Yeah, I think if she sat this one out, it's a clear message. She's not fond of the new direction. But if Anna Wintour is there, I feel like she supports whatever direction it is. Something tells me she doesn't love it. Okay, so I'm remembering things now. I think the movie with Olivia Newton-John starred Christian Slater. I think Christian. I'm gonna look it up when I go home. I'm gonna stop trying to remember it. Vintala. I'm really not sure how you say it. I just find it crazy that Jeff Bezos' wife used to be on a local news station here. Uh-oh. I thought they were trying to chip a star out. I really hate walking in this thing. We're about to like... with people looking at stars. This is not fair to their California experience. I can still bend. So I bend while I can. Thank you. So she's into Jeff and Lauren. I did a video on the Christmas parade in Hollywood, and the year they tried to change it and partnered with Blockbuster. And I used a clip of Lauren on the news. The Blockbuster Christmas Spectacular. I don't really care about the Met Gala, but it's interesting to see and hear about what people wear and what outrageous da-da-da-da-da, but like seriously, Hunger Games, yeah. It does feel a little Hunger Games. So when we did our star walk, we missed this star over here. I'm just gonna do it right now, and then I'm gonna pop it back into, I'm kidding, I'm not gonna do anything like that, but it's the Musso and Frank's star. I kept saying things like they only have 4 symbols, but that is literally a fork and a plate. Well, that's good.
Same here, Tony.
I like reading about it while I'm in the bathroom in the morning sometimes. Like, I like those simple news stories. Whoa, is that Evel Knievel? Or the fawns fixing to jump the sharks? Right, and then the oldest Italian restaurant in Los Angeles. I don't know that that is actually true, but maybe in Hollywood is right over there. Since 1949, definitely not the oldest Italian restaurant. But, and just in case you were wondering how Italian, Frank Sinatra on the side. We're so Italian. They're so Italian. Have a piano player, bottles with candles, Chianti bottles with candles in them. It's a pretty great experience.
Hey, Mark.
Are you talking about... and sharks. Are you talking about Musso and Frank's, or are you talking about Miceli's as far as tourist traps? I'm going to answer you the truth, honestly. I've been to both. Let me know, mountain bike. So, Miceli's food is Italian food. It's kind of Italian basics. BASIX. Pasta with sauce, eggplant parmesan. Maybe they don't have eggplant parmesan, but pizza, you know, meatballs. It's kind of like buco de beppo, except way cooler, way more authentic, way more just ambiance. But the food is Italian food that is good. I would go there. I recommend it. It's not a 5-star food experience, but it's a 5-star ambiance experience. I've gone there a couple times. Musso and Frank's is a basic steak restaurant, but also I recommend it. Charlie Chaplin. I recommend it because the ambiance. If you wear like jeans and something, they put you in like the bar area, but if you dress up a little bit, they put you in this beautiful old room. And so if you want like a drink and a steak, thank you so much. You want a drink and a steak, it's kind of a great place to go. I don't know, I like them both, but I think Miceli's has okay food and Musso and Frank's is a little overpriced, but it's ambience and history. History is not really a word, but it's ambience and history is pretty awesome. Oh my God, Paul. Seriously. Yeah, jeans and a nice shirt gets you into the bar. They put you like that's where the tourists go. I think if you wear a nice pair of trousers and some shoes, no sports attire, you get to go into maybe a jacket. They let you into the Oak Room. I've yet to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I really want to see that movie. Unlike La La Land, which I feel like I've missed the thrill of that. Who is paying, like it really is the Hunger Games, $350,000 could, I don't know, help how many people? But you know, life is all about experiences. Thanks, Brenda. It's a pretty subtle one, I think, sometimes. And sometimes it's a little Minnesota. I don't know why. The time I went to Musso and Frank, I wore a jacket. So I got to sit in the fancier oaky room. It's not called the Oak Room. It's not Copley Place. But when I lived in Boston, I worked at a fancy restaurant. And I think I complained about it the other day. You had to tip everyone out. Maitre d', busboy, bread girl, sommelier. It was called Anthony's Pier 4. And the man who ran it was like 100 years old and it was a seafood restaurant. and he had hands like a lobster, like lobster claws. One time I put an espresso down on somebody's table and the handle was at 6 instead of 4.
You got fired the next
No,
day.
his claw hand came up from nowhere behind me, grabbed my arm, and said, "Don't you ever put that espresso on the table like that again." Anyway, I never put the espresso on the table like that again. Trust me. I quit a couple weeks later. It was too much stress for me. I wasn't making enough money and I was tipping tons of people out, and I got a better offer somewhere else. And so I gave them no notice. You don't grab my arm with your lobster claw. Kidding. Anyway, it was kind of sad working there because this was 1992, 1993, and there were some people who were working there since it's Liza Minnelli heyday, really old waiters who I would see and waitresses who I would see eat food from plates that were going back to the dishwasher.
Hey, Cali Car.
Hey, Cali Car. Oh, it's no big deal. It was it was almost like a mafia thing, that place. The guy was from Cyprus, and Anthony was still alive. He was the one with the lobster claw. He had all these Greek, they weren't Greek, they were Cypriot, tall mafia looking guys with their hair slicked back and black suits. They all seem to be named George, because that name translates to English really well. Oh my gosh. But it was really kind of a cool restaurant because it was at the water, had really great views, and it had a really nice, fun history for a guy in his early life who was fascinated by Liza Minnelli's mother, I guess. I really wasn't at the time, but Anthony's Pier 4, look it up. But I met some really cool, fun people when I worked there that I never talked to afterwards. Hey DC, hey you guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. We're gonna head towards the end of Hollywood Boulevard and turn around. Sorry for the
DC
truck sounds.
Hey Cameron.
Want to cross here and
That way?
Well, no, I don't know what this bus is doing. I'm afraid the second I walk in front of the bus, it's going to start. Yeah. Or run over my toesies. All right, we're going to do it. Yellow does not mean beat the red. Hello, Amy. Aww.
Hey, Amy.
People would come there from all over the world. I remember watching German people eat lobster shells. I knew they weren't going to tip me at the end because it wasn't their custom, so who was I to tell them, you shouldn't eat the lobster shells? When I was there, it was pretty kind of run down. They kind of kept the lights dim. Oh, but I was kind of circling it back to Musso and Frank. So when I worked there, they would put people in Hawaiian shirts or shorts in the bar area and not in the main dining room. Kind of like at Musso and Frank's. That was a big circle to make. I love the Roosevelts. Also, we've decided that that In-N-Out burger is probably the best In-N-Out burger. Let me get on there, man. A mob hit. Oh, in Musso and Frank's, or at Anthony's Pier 4. I feel like there's some weird story about Musso and Frank's, but it's probably from the 50s and has to do with Raymond Chandler. It was probably the Cyprian mob. Is that what you call people from Cyprus? Whitey Bulger, wow. You know who loves Whitey Bulger? Brave Bull. He loves to ask me when I'm going to go visit Whitey Bulger's apartment in Santa Monica. I haven't seen Brave Bull for a while. I hope he's okay. Hey, Kaye!
Hey, Vito. Hola, Vito.
I had friends who lived in Winter Hill in Somerville. I lived in Somerville too for like my first year of living in Boston, and it was really pretty horrible. It was very like different than Boston, let's just say. And it was really right next to Cambridge. But they lived in Winter Hill where the Winter Hill gang was, and Whitey Bulger was from the Winter Hill gang. Again, not in 1982. No, the lobster shell is pretty hard. I would just think it would slice up your insides. Always tip your server. And I literally told them not to eat the lobster shell. I was just being a smartass. They still didn't tip me. All right, let's see if we can cross. Oh my gosh, they spin her right round like a record. Huh?
Okay.
Now she's in a different direction. I love the West Coast. I grew up on the East Coast, so I really feel like I have an East Coast perspective. Somebody keeps spinning her around, and it's like metal plated fiberglass, and it's eventually just gonna break completely off. May Wong. I think some people are super cheap, and some people aren't from America, and they don't know how to tip, and that's not their fault. It's because we have this. Look up the roots of tipping. I will leave it at that, because, you know, America is a tipping society, and you can look it up and see why we're a tipping society and why we invented a tipping system. It's not. Right? I feel like a little more and a little more of her just keeps kind of slipping off. I mentioned when we did the Walk of Fame and touched every star, there used to be a tiny little Marilyn Monroe on the top of that gazebo, and somebody climbed up there and hacked her off at the legs. I can't tell if those ankles are still up there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Dun dun dun. We're now looking like creepers at someone's deck. Oh, there we go. Hold on. That Hollywood thing doesn't even light up anymore. What? Little feet. Beautiful things. Right? I think people try to just disguise their Teslas. I'm not crossing in front of you, buddy. Don't worry. Have you seen the Teslas that somebody tried to make look like a Toyota pickup truck by putting like a wrap around it? I feel like if you have the money to wrap your car, it's the smartest thing because you can get them so they kind of protect the paint underneath and the finish, and you could have like a different color car. I also really love the matte black cars. Like this Land Rover over here, which has got a little matte, a little sheen. A beautiful car. I can't imagine what the gas costs. A lot. Oh my God. You know one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons? Remember when Marge actually got an SUV? I drove pretty smaller cars for a while, and then my last car was a truck.
Oh, I'm so far.
My last car was a truck, and I felt like Marge Simpson driving down the street in the truck, like squirrels were running out of the way, children were fleeing. It was kind of awesome. I forgot what her SUV, it was like F-type for femme, and it had a lipstick thingamajig in it instead of a lighter. Thanks you guys so much for hanging out here. This is my favorite block that hasn't changed since 1960 something. Real quick, thanks members for supporting the channel.
Hey, Denver, say.
Hey, Jose. Good night. All right, and thank you guys so much for supporting Human. And
Hey, we appreciate you, Angela.
we love lurkers. So thanks for lurking. Please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. All right, enough of that. You can get driven for $89, but only 6 miles. It's all right. I had to pocket my mic for 1 second. Thank you so much. The Canyonero. Oh yeah. It was literally like the size of like a Toyota Land Cruiser, or like a old Land Rover County FWB. I forget what it's called. County Squire was a station wagon. But it was, I love that car. It was boxy and fun. She deserved a SUV. Gosh, you want to see the Lady Gaga statue? They have over 120 wax figures. Still doesn't beat the Hollywood Wax Museum. You get a free motion ride there. And you don't smell like fried chicken when you come out.
Hoodies are fine, sweatshirt fine, don't get fine.
Look where we are. So, you remember, Tony, you can watch my video all about the Hollywood Wax Museum, where they treated me like a queen or a king for a day. I went to a Madame Tussauds in Amsterdam, I feel like, and it was pretty cool because it was all like artwork, like a Rembrandt painting come to life. Let's get in on this tour. You might learn something. They're taking a picture of the Marilyn Monroe poster I got in everyone's way. Dun-dun. We haven't gone to Raising Cane's yet. I think we haven't gone to that one yet, but I really will probably go to the one at the Arby's, which is down on Sunset. I've just been to the one in, I swear it was Amsterdam. And it was kind of cool. I also went to the Torture Museum, and I kind of mixed those two museums up. But I'm pretty sure they were both in Amsterdam. I couldn't afford to do much in London when I was there. I could eat at the Kentuck. So even the one in London isn't worth a visit. I'm gonna plug in real quick and put my microphone in my mouth.
Anywhere else. Hats, t-shirts, and shot glasses as low as $5. Hoodies and sweatshirts are less than $10.
It's always really fun to see a movie at the Chinese theater. The bummer for me is if you're not in the old theater and you're in the new modern theater. I think it was the London Dungeon Museum. I mean, this is a long time ago, and I liked the Dungeon Museum. I also liked the Madame Tussauds. It was kind of like arty. I'm gonna have to look it up and see where that was.
Magnets as low as $2.99 or 4 for $10. $9.99 hoodies on sale today. You won't find deals like this anywhere else.
It's like seeing something here is pretty fun, but also El Capitan. On Tuesdays, I keep saying this and we'll walk by and it won't show up, but on Tuesdays it's $5. $5 Tuesdays. It's better than $5 footlong to sit in that movie. Of course, popcorn and soda are extra. It becomes $65, but you know, you can pack your snacks.
TCL Chinese Theatre, where hoodies are only $9.99. That's right.
Exactly like the Iron Maiden.
Only $9.99. This special will not last. So come and get your Los Angeles or Hollywood deals today. Come get your $9.99 hoodies and 99-cent keychains today. Magnets, $2.99 or 4%.
Time is it? Oh, wait.
Hey, Big Daddy.
No. It's 5:30. I would buy I can't resist the popcorn. It's impossible to pack popcorn. So I would end up buying popcorn. See, not everyone's liberal. We haven't been to a movie in a while. Maybe in almost a year. I love going to the movies. I just can't. I can afford $5 at El Capitan. Even if it's the Aristocats, which I would love to see. Or something old, because I think they're older movies. They were playing Oliver and Company, which I'd never seen, and I probably, you know, if I was here for a day, I'd see that in the theater. Oh, my birthday was in January. I'm gonna have to wait for months.
No, just go now.
I love. All right.
But guys,
Are you
I'm
gonna-
gonna take off and run some errands. I might do a gaming stream after this one. It just depends how long it takes me to get home. But thank you so much for walking with us. Charlie's going to continue the walk. So please
We're
take
just
care
saying
of
bye
him.
to Joe.
We're just saying bye to Joe.
For now.
See you guys again. Thank you so much for being here. I will maybe catch you on the gaming stream after this. All right.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Be careful.
Be careful.
You too.
That lady was the star of our shot for a couple minutes. I feel really bad. Hi, Joe. You almost got to see him. He would have. He'll be back. This is Gene Autry Square. He'll be back tomorrow. Just a reminder, tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. And if you think you can't enjoy Cinco de Mayo without getting S-faced, we're going to show you that you can enjoy it without a drink at all. We're going to Boyle Heights. We're going to Mariachi Square. Expect some dancing, mariachi music. We'll hang out there for an hour. And then I think we're going to walk back to Los Angeles over the bridge. It'll be pretty beautiful, with the skyline in view. I've done this with Joe before. I've done it by myself before. We've done it on the stream a couple times. Walk back from Boyle Heights. Right? Tacos should be free. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, I'll be in Boyle Heights. I put a little page up. I hate reminding people to do that. You can hit that bell. It'll give you an alert. But don't really hit it, because it's not real. And you'll break your screen or keyboard. This is like my other favorite place to come. This museum and the Hollywood Wax Museum are kind of bargains. They're both under 20 bucks. I've never gone to this museum. It seems a little action-packed for me. But if I were a kid, I might like it. And I have not been to the Hollywood Museum around the corner, which is also under $20. I would go here if they let me go for free so I could try it out. I'm afraid it's the kind of thing that isn't thrilling to me any longer. But it would be a great experience if I were a teen or a kid or, you know. Wait. That was like the second coming of Disney in the 90s, right? Because I feel like Disney was just relying on their teen movies and weird stuff in the 70s, like the Shaggy DA and it's a movie about cats from outer space, which I also watched. Freaky Friday, wasn't that another Disney movie? Hey, Ruben! Joseph just took off for a few minutes. I think he's gonna live stream, but I'm not even walking out into the street. He's gonna live stream. We just have to run a few errands. I have to, after this, go and get groceries. I spent today, setting stuff up, trying to figure stuff out for the channel and for my personal life. And, yeah. So I never went grocery shopping. I think I said 4 or 5 times, I'm gonna go get groceries. I'm gonna go get groceries. And then I never did. I also have to cook dinner, which I don't mind. So not only do I have to get groceries after this, I've gotta cook them. Drat. It's okay though. All right, let's walk by Miceli's. I don't... Okay. Because it's Hollywood's oldest Italian restaurant since 1949. Oh my god. I saw that in like a theater, like a Nickelodeon on Amherst Street. Oh my gosh. These little windows, these little lanterns. Do you love that Taco Bell? What did you get, Ruben? They have the shades drawn, but at night you can kind of, I peeked through the window and you can like see little people enjoying Italian food. I like to say Italian because I find it obnoxious when people that are not Italian say it that way. I'm Italian. This Hang On to the Dream place keeps popping up onto my Instagram. They always seem to have something to do here, like movies. There's an open mic night, indie movie night. I don't know. And you could watch Hollywood TV on Roku. I kind of want to check it out. We've walked by it a few times. Oh my god. I think my grandma, who was Italian, said Italian like that, but I remember people making fun of, here's another Tesla that looks like nothing. But my grandma's Italian. Stephanie Powers, she's kind of famous, right? Mrs. Hot. There's some really bad joke where that's how they say Italian, and I'm not gonna try to remember it because I only remember like the last two lines of the joke. I think I read it in Truly Tasteless Jokes, a book that I thought was hilarious when I was a kid, although I'm horrified that I ever read Truly Tasteless Jokes. One time I accidentally, on the self-scan, I rang up 2 jars of jam, and I said to the guy who was manning the self-checkout, who was clearly just fresh back from his lunch break, I'm pretty sure he had a bowl. And I was like, I accidentally rang up 2 jams or jellies. And he's like, oh, do you want to just get another one? And I was like, okay. I mean, I got him. I just got another one. It was nice having 2 jellies, I'm not going to lie. One for my nightstand, one for my fridge. No, just a backup jelly. We definitely eat a lot of PB and or J's. I am so bummed out about Supply Sergeant. Although I say that, and it wasn't a place I regularly shopped. But I keep saying, I'm going to post a picture of the sign, and I never do. But I have pictures of that sign going back. It's amazing the pictures I have on my phone. I'm so close to having to upgrade my Apple Cloud storage. It's going to be expensive this time. But I have pictures going back to like, I don't know, 2009. They're not really great. There's Bordner's. I've actually never been into Bordner's, but it's kind of a cool, hip spot at sometimes. This is a really interesting building to kind of actually almost think of it as a plaza in a way, you know, like the plazas of today with a restaurant and something else and something else. Oh my gosh. This building housed the Masque, which was another punk club. You can't see it. The entrance was right there. One time when we were doing the punk walk, it was open. So this building is storied. Mobsters were definitely shot here. So you used to be able to enter this portion to enter the shops and the center, and now it's just kind of the courtyard of Boardners. But it was kind of a place where writers and people could like work. Think of it as a WeWork almost. But seriously, like a plaza before plazas. Like a multi-use space. With Bar Sinister. So, I think a lot of clubs did close down. I'm not really familiar with too many of the, like, straight clubs, to be honest with you. But I know that, like, in my sort of neighborhood, West Hollywood, we had a bar that completely closed. And it was a really old establishment, probably going back to the 50s or 60s, like a kind of hidden bar back when it was illegal. And it was on Melrose. And that place closed and never reopened, and that was kind of sad, actually. It was an out-of-the-way bar. It was kind of a dive bar, but it was a bar that didn't feel pretentious at all. It just felt like a gay bar. I know a couple in West Hollywood also closed, and I'm sure a lot of like just bars closed. Like, they're about to doze, I think, this whole block, but I can't remember when Bardot was open, but that brewing company, I feel like, and this next bar were open before COVID. What is Bar Sinister like? It looks like kind of like a burlesque vibe, which I think is totally cool. I support any entertainment that's a positive experience for the entertainer as well as the entertainees. Just putting that out there. Oh. I think like what when you say like a modern goth club, or are we talking Sisters of Mercy, Dead Can Dance, Clan of Zymox, goth club? I used to have a little goth in me. You always have to go easy on old people that are working past when we mentally think old people should be working. Granted, what I'm doing is really working, but I'm not like 90 and walking around the streets. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when you see, I guess, somebody cleaning the counters in the like dining room of a restaurant. It's a really old person that kind of can barely walk, waddling around. I hope they're there because they're killing time or just making a little extra scratch, and not because they're having to haul their tired body around to make a couple extra dollars at McDonald's. May the 4th be with you as well. That's my Yoda impression, which also sounds like Kermit the Frog. I don't know. I want to be busy for the rest of my life. I don't necessarily want to work a job, though. But we definitely want to stimulate myself. Rage closed during the pandemic. That's right. And did something else open in its place? I used to love, which closed way before the pandemic, but way on the far end of West Hollywood, there was, now it's called the Gold Room, but it was called the Gold Coast. And it was West Hollywood's only dive bar. I only love a dive bar because it's cheaper. Also less pressure. And it's a little more chill. Hey! Hello, user. That's awesome. New Zealand always seemed like a really beautiful place to be. Plus, they gave us Lord, right? Myrna Loy. Oh boy. Sure. Don't you? Don't we all want to be stimulated? I didn't mean in any perverse manner. I just meant like, I don't want to sit on my ass in the house all day for the rest of my life knitting. I want to be on the street, seeing people, moving, doing it, you know, like a sex machine. Kidding. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cheers to you, Canute. Cheers to you all. Here's to New Zealand. That's amazing. Welcome, new people. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to load up some fun things, but they're not there, so I guess thanks for supporting human beings. I always forget that the Pacific movie theater behind us was, which I don't know how I could forget that was a Warner Brothers theater. I only know that I never forget that because one of the Warner Brothers had passed away before it was completed. This movie theater was built to show Al Jolson's The Jazz Singer, but it didn't finish in time. That's the simulation screaming. The simulation heard that I needed stimulation, so it provided it across the street. It's a gentleman having maybe a hard time today. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whose dog. The dog belongs to a person that is walking it without a leash. Not my favorite thing to see. Being a dog lover and knowing that no matter how well trained your dog is, it will sometimes run right into traffic to get something on the other side. I'm gonna turn. Let's walk by the Star Wars bar, but this guy is blaring a radio for tips. Hold on. I can avoid everything but that loudspeaker. Uh-oh. Where are their lightsabers? The only check cashing place I ever used was that one way over on Wilcox or Wilton. For some reason, can never remember what street it's, which corner it's on. I used to go in there before I had direct deposit. I was afraid of direct deposit for a while. And the line would wrap around. And why was I going there? Because I would get out too late for the bank to be open. And sometimes I would have to call somebody for my check. So crazy. Oh my God, George. George Berger, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Hearts, 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 hearts. This is the thanks so much song. Wait, there's more. Do do do. Do do do. And check out this cat. It's a really cute cat that says Yas. But it's also flaming because why? Not sure. All right. Woo! Thank you so much. We will update our members tomorrow for that. I think I'm not going to live stream on Wednesday. I have to catch up with member videos. Here's a question we might want to answer, which somebody decided to spray paint on the sidewalk. Who are the 30 greatest living American songwriters? It's the New York Times, right? A famous Knickerbocker. Let's walk up this way. We'll walk back down over towards the Capitol Records building. All right, one more yas for George. Some more hearts. George is a saint. Did you love living on the boulevard? When you... Yes! I wish it made a noise. I lived 4 blocks below AT&T broadband. I lived about 4 blocks below Hollywood Boulevard in like 2004, 5, 6, 7. I kinda liked it. I liked living in this area, and then I lived a couple blocks above it, which I also loved because I it literally like the block behind Hollywood Boulevard, so I could just like, walk down and get a coffee. I'd love to mention this every time, but Knickerbocker Hotel, it's where Houdini's widow threw the seance, on the roof. I feel like there was a Houdini made-for-TV movie that came on a lot when I was a kid. Because I feel like we had a Houdini moment in the 70s. Wow. All right, I'm gonna cross. I do have a crosswalk and a stop sign. I sometimes get them wrong. I kept thinking we were walking by the house from whoever happened to Baby Jane. It was a parody. Whatever happened to Baby Jane, and it was actually 2 blocks over. I used to have this. I don't know if Sunset Michael Starr is here today, but when I first moved to Hollywood, I got this book. It was a skinny book. It had like Marilyn Monroe on the cover. It was a book that you could get at the not tour shops, but the souvenir shops. Sorry, it's a French word. At the souvenir shops. And it was so good. It had addresses of stuff and where people unalived and where people lived. But it had the house as being on Highland Avenue. I remember that because I took the book and went to the house. Well, the book was about as correct as a Hollywood bus tour, which are kind of notoriously make crap up, but it's all for the fun of it. This area was definitely different in the 90s for sure. Hello, hello, hello. I have not seen the documentary The Cruise. What is it about? Put it in the comments if you don't mind. I sometimes cannot find the chat again if I want to look something up, but put in the comments. This is a Greek restaurant. Anyway, so this was a pretty dangerous area for drugs. I think a couple blocks over, they called it the supermarket of drugs. I don't like to talk shit about LA like that, you know? So I don't usually like to tell those kind of stories, but it was pretty... The Waymo was waiting for me to step back, just so you know. It stopped like I was gonna cross. Anyway, it was pretty dicey over here. YUCCA corridor. You can look it up. Supermarket of drugs. How they changed that all is further down. You can't cruise through here anymore. So like in between the streets, they have barriers or medians. So now you can go left or you can go right. You can't like just cruise down YUCCA to Hollywood and come back around and make a loop. Like you have to go left or right. And that really cut a lot of stuff down. This was a Greek restaurant. It used to have a big spoon. Yeah, it's fun. We did a walk and we talked about YUCCA. And I couldn't believe the amount of stuff that you could find out. Or, I mean, that was going on. But, you know, I think, like, stuff gets skewed in hindsight, right? Hindsight is not always 20/20. Hindsight is rose-colored sometimes. Hindsight is just skewed by the way people's memories work. Like, it probably was dangerous, but I think crime rates are probably a more interesting thing to look at. Also, like what kind of crimes were being created. If they say an area has high crime rates and it's not violent crime, like it's, you know, sex crimes or something like that, or catching people doing things like that's, I feel like is a different kind of crime than violent crime. I don't think people should be, anyway, I'm not condoning anything. I'm condoning tying my shoelace though. Kim Hart, happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. Always great to hear from you. I'm gonna tie my shoe. I'm gonna unplug my gimbal while I do it. Whoa! I almost can't lift my leg up that high for some reason. It's a good spot. I gotta do some stretches. I was just hanging out there too. Maybe I'll make some tacos tonight. I'm kind of feeling bad. But, oh, Taco Tuesday's tomorrow night. I'm gonna save up my money for a really delicious churro. I'm hoping I can get a churro tomorrow. Oh, I've never had a shrimp taco, but I really do love a fish taco. Especially from, what is it, Wahoo's fish taco? It's like great white meat and they have like white fish. And they have a really nice sauce that they squirt on. Capitol Records. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing great vibes every time you come, Kim. Great to see you here. And I realize it's Monday, so you guys could be watching reruns of Murder, She Wrote, or back-to-back Golden Girls. So I appreciate you doing this instead. At least for a few minutes. Yeah, I like cod, haddock, and scrod. Like white fish. Like the unfishiest tasting fish. Also, if it's batter dipped. I like the fillet of fish also. Wait, Wahoo's doesn't exist anymore? I remember seeing them in Orange County and never here. So I feel like I only tried Wahoo's fish tacos in Orange County. I would get them again. I feel like I also read a really nice story about the guy who started Wahoo's Fish Tacos. A local guy. I feel like there might have been... Remember there was also Sharky's? There was one Sharky's in Beverly Hills when I first worked here, as well as, I think there was a Wahoo's Fish Taco in Beverly Hills on the corner of Little Santa Monica and Beverly Drive, the left side. The crazy thing is, I never saw Oliver and Company going back to that. Sorry. And then there's some place called Rubio's Fresh Mex. Sorry, Derek Slide, I got that Oliver and Company reference. Who's that girl was around that time? But even looking, what was that? Desperately Seeking Susan, looking at New York City in that time, even earlier. Or there's a movie called 8mm with Nicolas Cage that takes place in Hollywood, which is really kind of interesting. It's a pretty horrible movie, but like a murder kind of snuff movie, kinda, but it's pretty great. Tony, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna loop around right now. my gosh. Hulu gets real. They've got more new reality TV show. I thought reality TV was dead. We've got Mormon Wives, Love is Blind, Vanderpump Villa. And look who's coming out of Vanderpump Villa. I wish he came out of Heidi Klum instead. That would have been a little cooler. Or I wish they positioned the door a little better, so. When it opened, it kinda, uh-oh. We'll definitely go to Amoeba after. I need to walk down towards Fountain on our way to check on the bird that lives in the sign outside of stage 15. So we'll peek into Amoeba's windows. It's easier when it's dark. That's Peepin' Tom rules for you. It's an interesting movie. It's very of its time, but like I seriously recognized things in that movie from Western Avenue, when Western Avenue in the 90s was also pretty triple X, shall we say? I feel like. I mean, there still is a shop there. It's called, oh my God, Secrets of Hollywood. I say it like I've never been in there. And then they have a triple X movie theater, which I actually can say I've never been in. It's a little pricey. We did take a picture of the prices. It's $25. No popcorn. I used to like to go drive in the alleys before trash day in Beverly Hills. I found some pretty cool pieces of furniture. That was before I ever thought of chinchas or anything. Not that anybody in Beverly Hills would have chinchas, but wow. Hollywood and Western, Hollywood and Western. I'm trying to imagine what's on the corner. Oh, Hollywood and Western. So currently, Hollywood and Western. Oh, thank you so much. How are you? Hollywood and Western is like now Petco and Marshall's, which is kind of new. And then a mall with like a Ross dress for, not a Ross dress, maybe it has a Ross dress for less, but it's a Ralph's grocery store. And then on the other side is the Louis B. Mayer building and then the metro station. So your hotel is probably gone now, or the St. Francis is probably gone now. Oh my God, jelly beans. It's really hard to stop eating jelly beans once you start, I feel like. I really feel that way about all candy. I cannot open a bag of candy and then put some away. I can never get family size because I become the family. Or share size. I become a share. I really don't become share, but that was my share impersonation. I'm gonna stay on this, I'm gonna cross the street. Let's go see the last of The Devil Wears Prada pack up. Oh my god, they're not fighting. They're all on the same truck. I hope they give the guy who handed out the magazines another job because he was really a delight. What's Anne Hathaway's new movie that's coming out with Michelle, that English actress? I do love fruit snacks. But my go-to would be chocolate snacks or fudge snacks. Joe's more gummy than I am. I would rather have like sugar babies, if they even make those anymore. They're probably made with corn syrup now. That's my friend. Hey, how are you? Rep, how's it going? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you too. That looks delicious. You too. Happy Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
Alright, yeah.
Be careful. No, I'm just going to watch some mariachi in Boyle Heights. It's going to be beautiful. Take care. Rutabaga is something I really discovered maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. Turnip, I also love mashed turnips with butter, pepper. Sweet potatoes. I ate so many, Joe and I ate so many sweet potatoes, but I only turned orange. My hands started turning orange from the sweet potatoes. It wasn't very pretty. So the problem with chocolate bars in the grocery store nowadays, is I want to walk on the side of the music. Let's walk up around this guy. He's so loud. This corn syrup is in so much crap. We're going back up this block. It's a Knickerbocker. Did you know that William Frawley from Untitled Chapter lived here? What? Awesome. They brought him here. Actually, he passed out on the floor. They brought him here. So, I'll just test this here. All right, keep going. I have one more story for you walk on this block. Sorry. What were we talking about? Oh, I love Tony's. The problem with chocolate bars is there's so much corn syrup in it now. Oh, look, we're going around this corner to avoid the music. I mentioned that William Frawley from I Love Lucy once lived here. He used to buy his cigars around the corner at the movie theater. There was a tobacco shop. I think he collapsed in front of there, and they brought him here where he passed away on those steps. Fred Mertz. I hear he wasn't a very nice guy. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio also would cross paths at that hotel also. So one more story if we walk around that block again. Anyway. You were in my pants pocket. Chocolate bars. Too much corn syrup. Too expensive for all that corn syrup. If you can find Fran's Gold bars, buy them. It is the best caramel. It's like a Snickers bar, but it's smaller and just the best caramel nut nougat mixture ever. Dark chocolate is tops. I don't know where you can get them anymore. I haven't seen them for a while. But also Tony's Choco Colony, I love. Every once in a while you can find Tony's at Marshall's. Snatch it up. I do like Chinese food, but I'm American. So when I say this, it's probably not the most authentic Chinese food. So I will say I like a lot of Chinese spices and flavors. Just my front pocket, left pocket. I do that to block the copyright music out. It almost always works unless something is mixed by the Black Eyed Peas. I don't understand, but no matter what, anything mixed by the Black Eyed Peas just cuts through. What's a mountain bar? That sounds pretty excellent. I feel like egg rolls is something they made up for a Doris Day movie. So we went back up to YUCCA. I want to cross YUCCA and continue on to YUCCA, and then we'll take a left back onto Hollywood Boulevard. Cahuenga's kind of boring right here. But it gets interesting up here. This is was a pretty dicey area in its day too. We're coming up on the Lido Hotel, which has quite a past. It used to have a bar in the corner that Ed Wood would get plastered at in drag. I will be going to Wilcox right now. The YUCCA market is still open. I feel like I've shopped at that YUCCA market a couple times. Because I used to have friends that lived right around the corner over there, so they would come to the YUCCA market. I can't remember who, but there's a bar over here on the right that I think Johnny Depp might have owned part of. And then there's a man in the TV show Mary Hartman with Louise Lasser, who was actually lived in the Lido and was Murdered in it. And it's just a creepy building in general. Also the album cover, I smell gas. The album cover for Hotel California was photographed in the lobby of this building, the Lido. Do you love Carol Burnett? Because who doesn't love Carol Burnett? She used to live right in this building, I think. Which is right around the corner from the Warner Theater, where she was an usherette and was fired, and where her Hollywood star was. Playboy liquor, the Y is a martini glass. There's also like a weird story, and I tell it sometimes, about this building. So there's a lot of these types of buildings, or maybe this is just urban myth in general. There's like the little girl that drowned in the pool. This building once had a pool, also has a little girl that haunts it. So does the Roosevelt Hotel. I think that's just something that they dump on people. So I'm not sure which entrance it is, this one or the one around the corner, which is kind of grand, but that's where the lobby of that is where they photographed Hotel California album cover. I learned that from another YouTuber. And then there's a scene from Pretty Woman that's filmed at the end of this street. There's a man that's walking in the background of that scene. You can see this building. The man's girlfriend jumped out of the maybe third-story window when there was a fire in the building, a suspicious fire, and landed on the fence. She's supposed to haunt the building too. It's not Playboy liquor because they would get sued. It's PLA martini glass boy liquor. I love how they check out the sign. I always called it Playboy liquor. I used to get cigarettes and liquor here sometimes. I think it was in my whiskey drinking days. I would love a t-shirt that said, that had that sign on it actually. I wonder if I would. It looks like I'm following this lady. She's a poop. Anyway. This woman really stepped out of another time. She looked excellent. So this little nook used to be the door to a bar. I'm sure that little nook used to be a door to a bar too. Right? It's actually fuchsia. And then she has pink shoes and a pink purse. And she's working it actually. I would never normally do that. BULOUS. She keeps spinning around, making her own music video. What? I miss my light checking out chicks. Alright. I think it is called Playboy. I just called it Playboy because of the martini glass. I feel like if they would have put a Y there, they would have gotten sued. I feel like Hugh Hefner sued people all the time for the logo. I love almond roca. Wait. If you have any candy links you want to share, definitely drop them in the comments. Like places. I periodically don't mind getting a little candy once in a while. If it's good. Ordered in. Unlike those Skittles on the ground. But I would eat Skittles right now, I think. I do. Hey, F.N. Anderson. Welcome. Greetings to the greatest country ever. Canada. A really great country and a really great neighbor. Sorry, we have been a little bad lately. I'm really sorry. I just love stuff. I can't have corn syrup. Too much corn syrup. There's a reason why men shouldn't have too much corn syrup. You can look it up. I'm not going to discuss it. I'm not like a health guru. I don't want you to follow my advice. Because candy corn would be a food group. As long as it was made with honey. Oh my God, Brave Bull. Look at you. Long time no see. I've never been to It's Sugar. Where is that? I'm going to Burbank next month. Or this month. I already put it up. I'm going to go, there's an art fair, and then I'm going to walk back down Magnolia Boulevard towards Cahuenga. It is going to be a long walk, but we're finally going to go to Burbank. We're going to go by Portos. I'm probably not going to go in. I only ever use half the ramen seasoning packet. And I like to throw like a handful of frozen vegetables into it, and then I like to add maybe some soy sauce, or I like to jazz up ramen. But I don't eat it that often. Like store-bought ramen. But I love it. I love ramen from like ramen from the restaurant. So we're talking about YUCCA being pretty dangerous. One of the reasons that made it kind of dangerous was you used to be able to just drive through all the way, you know, back to Hollywood Boulevard, up into the hills, down and around. And after they put these blocks here where you could turn right from this side or right from that side, like it drastically cut down on the crime. Everyone's favorite Motel 6. It kind of makes it a little more fancy, and then you're really just, if you add stuff and you take away some of the, it's really the sodium that I kind of worry about. I'm standing in the middle of the street because I don't know where somebody is coming from right now, and this man over here looked really grumpy at my camera, so I didn't want to continue to follow them. I try to eat vegetables as much as I can. So I keep frozen peas and frozen like corn and frozen lima beans on hand so I can add them to stuff last minute. We make macaroni and cheese, super unhealthy. I'll add spinach or broccoli to it. I don't ever buy frozen broccoli because it's always stalks. Not that the stalks are bad. And we're just might flutter or buffer for a second. I am a grumpy old man. I'm grumpy but open-minded. I'm willing to not be grumpy. That's like, I have a giant bag of, I think it's lima beans, corn, peas, and carrots in my freezer that we like scoop from all the time. And I have a giant bag of like peas also. I love peas. I could just eat peas with butter and a little bit of salt. Delicious. Oh, he was a grumpy old man, but so am I. But also people are suspicious of like, why is this dude walking around with a camera? I think a lot of times what works in my favor is most people that are doing this are filming themselves. And so I think people are looking at me like, you know, this vain guy filming himself. This was my check cash place on the corner of Whitley. We'll get the broccoli florets in the plastic bag that are not frozen, but if you buy the frozen ones, I also just get cheap frozen vegetables. They always think I'm an undercover cop. Everyone does, or CIA, or Parks Department. I'm wearing pants today, navy slacks, so they think I'm Scientology. If you know, you know. Insta360, I have. I've seen people use that. I'm always looking for a way to make a better picture. You know, get up to like 4K. I used to have this car, not in white though. Actually, not a 2-door, a 4-door. I miss it right now. I'm gonna do, no. I don't know how to feel about that Scientology run. And I'm not a stan for religion or organized religion or what is actually kind of a cult. IMO, you know, from what I hear. I don't have any experience with it. But it's kind of crazy. We walk by. Don't forget we got to go down to Fountain. Don't forget we got to check on that bird. So there are a lot of people that protest Scientology, and they've been doing this particular one for years, right? A good couple years, maybe since the last time very first time I did the Hollywood Christmas Parade was the first time I saw anybody screaming at the Scientologists, and I really don't keep up with stuff, so I was like, oh, that's so mean. Very mean to those poor, whatever. Michael Starr. You're not that late. And then I started looking it up on the internet and seeing what they were doing, and I don't know, man.
I think it's funny.
It's weird. It feels like a cult. I was calling for you earlier. I don't remember what it was for. I was going to ask you if you remembered something. It'll come up again. I want to know if you've lived in Hollywood for long enough. Like, there was a time before they owned part of Hollywood Boulevard. You know? Like, they kind of revitalized it with their buildings. And I think that's, like, why the police are on their side and the mayor is on their side. And, like, the government here is so gung-ho about Scientology. But any belief is kind of crazy, especially when it deals with supernatural stuff that we just can't see every day. Like, stuff from the Bible sounds crazy. Water into wine, gloves into fish. Souls in volcano. Oh, that's Scientology. It all sounds a little suspect to me. I'm personally an Aesop's Fables kind of guy.
I'm wondering when they're going to start frying these up from the
They're never going to pry up Otto Preminger. They're never going to pry the stars up. They never removed the stars. We still have them. He was talking about them prying up stars of canceled people. I don't think they've canceled Otto Preminger. I think we just forgot about him and how awful he was. So, not my story to cover, but the Scientology building right behind me, they're probably watching me. I live in the neighborhood. They have no handles on the doors anymore. I think from the perspective of the people that are in there, it would be kind of scary to have a bunch of kids run and take over the place where you are. I remember hearing about gangs that would raid malls, you know, and they would like go in and just like, I don't know, steal from Macy's like years and years and years ago. And I would imagine it would be kind of like you're working in 7-Eleven and then all of a sudden 200 kids run in and like start knocking stuff off the shelves. I'm sure it's frightening for the people that are there. So I don't know how to feel about it. I'm all about humans being treated well. So whatever brings it to that end, I guess. Anyway. You gotta love the youth, though. But I mean, Streets LA pretty much closed that down. Anywho. I'm gonna now flip around here. I don't want to head into Hollywood and Highland any further, and we're gonna go down, go check on go back the same way we just came, which is all right. Go to Pantages. We're turning right on the Argyle. We're sneaking down to Fountain, going behind Sunset Gower, and finding that bird. If we find the bird, Michael Starr, I think you might have to go back and feed it. It's a bird living in a sign. I think people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do also that doesn't hurt other people and doesn't take advantage of needy people. And that's part of it that concerns me is when I was watching them go through this, some of these people are from other countries and they come here and they take their passport. And you have to sign a billion-year contract where you work 110 hours a week for $47. We're going to take the alley for a change of pace. I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy sounding to me, but who am I to say? Like, maybe it's the one true faith, and we just can't get it. All right, enough. There used to be a Burger King over here. Just checking on Charlie Chaplin, see if his mustache fell off. That's kind of what I think Canute, yeah. And the place in Hemet is particularly scary, actually. Right? It's a bunch of heroes on these walls. Actually, everybody on these walls is not alive anymore. And this is the back of the Hollywood Wax Museum too. I feel like there used to be more painting over here, but I think it's kind of around the corner. I'm always kind of mystified by this little spot. Well, I live in East Hollywood, so we've got the Cedars of Lebanon old hospital that I think Liza Minnelli was born in, and Marilyn Monroe had her something taken out there. And also, I think they would send people with leprosy there to that hospital also. Anyway, it's now Scientology headquarters. It's painted blue, the same color as the sky, which is a little freaky, but at the same time I kind of like it. You walk by there and it's a hospital, and it's all hospital rooms. You know, I don't know what they look like inside, but the shades never move. Hey, the shades never go up or ever go down. They're always kind of like in exactly the same space. And then this, I believe people live up here too. And it's like you never see a shade move. The blinds are always drawn. I feel like I haven't experienced anything from them, but I've just heard of too many experiences that people have had. It's not the only one though. We passed two. So there was a time when Hollywood was going in the pits, probably. I don't know when they bought these buildings. They own 4 or 5 buildings on Hollywood Boulevard. And they can own them and they pay no taxes on them because they're a religion. So they clearly they clearly revitalized Hollywood at some point by taking over these buildings. So that's one. Further down, over by May Wong, it's like the Authors Select Services. That's also a Scientology building. And then coming up here, and next to that building is another like Scientology building under another name. Also, Authors Services is not obviously a Scientology building. You kind of gotta figure that out. A bunch of guys getting drunk to Dancing Queen. I don't know if you heard that, but this is Hollywood, not West Hollywood. The old hospital is Fountain and Sunset, between Fountain and Sunset. And that's also where the Sea Org is. They have a campus over there. We've walked kind of near it before. I've started a stream over there a couple times. It's by Vermont. I remember them they had a pretty heavy presence in Boston too. So the largest recruiting for them ever was on Hollywood Boulevard, and they effectively kind of closed that down. The kids that used to hang out in front of there for hours and just scream to anybody that would try to go in. It's a cult. But we were down at Cinco de Mayo yesterday, and they had a Dianetics booth with a test you could take there. I think the Escape Hotel is escaping, might be getting torn down pretty soon. It's weird because everything up to this very last building is going to get torn down. And then the Bain building, which is this guy here, is going to be left. So we're on our way out of Hollywood now. We're going to walk over to Argyle. We'll say hi to the Pantages. We'll peek in the window at Amoeba. We'll not get hit by a cop cruiser. Who can't stop for a pedestrian. But if you didn't, tickets. Anyway. Abdullah. And then we're gonna walk by Gower Gulch, Sunset Gower, and go find our bird friend. Make sure they're doing okay. I wish I had some breadcrumbs or... Oh my god, they're gonna get matching tattoos of each other's initials. And they'll always remember their trip to Hollywood, except hopefully they'll stay together as long as the tattoos are on them. Kim Hart, you have an awesome night. I hope to see you again soon.
Hey, Shaq. Shaq. Hey, keep going right now.
Like here's another center block, like they're tearing down that little middle section. All right, I'm gonna put my mic back in my pocket for a second. Coming to Music Land. I can't wait for this place to open up. Maybe I'll finally get business cards to hand out. It's weird because I usually do have a slice of bread tied to a string.
Yo, chat.
They say hi to Chat. That's you guys. You guys are popular. Everyone knows you. They call you Chat. It's better than being called Chet or Chad. Joe called me Chad today. May the 4th be with you.
Yes, sir. Have a good
All
one.
right, you too. Want to peek in here? Tell me if you see a ghost. A Warner Brothers ghost. There's a better hole. I can't remember where it is. Sometimes the lights are on. This is where the tobacco shop was. Fred Mertz's last cigar. I feel like the tobacco shop sign was up for a while, way after. Well, you can come down here yourself and press your little eye against that. Just hope a ghost doesn't poke you. Jack Warner, that's the one, right? Wait, one of the Warner brothers passed, and I feel like it was Harry Warner, the one that was obsessed with this building, which is sitting empty because of structural damage from earthquake or subway. by the really loud radio again. It's gonna be a remix by the Fugees. Oh my god, he has a boombox and also like a like weight, and I tried to move away. Wow, it's starting to get Star Wars serious here. There were several brothers Warner. And then there was Blair Warner. He was blasting Eye of the Tiger. I don't want the algorithm to recognize it. So loud every time that guy. Okay, sound like a cranky grampy again. Every time we walk by that guy, he's blasting music. It's usually like a classic though. So this building is also a Scientology building. And this isn't the one they were running into. And I don't know if they know it. This one also has the handles removed on the door, so you can't pull in and run through. You used to be able to just look in there and whoa. It's kind of like someone threw something at it. Yeah, they pulled the handles off. We've peeked in those windows before because they are also set up for, you know, with Christmas trees. Right, we're gonna cross Vine and then over to Argyle. I'm hoping I can do a diagonal cross here. When I first moved here, like maybe my first or second Christmas, I was kind of bummed out in December because the seasons, it feels like whatever, spring. And I came out of Hollywood and Highland train stop after probably getting a fight with my horrible boss. And it was snowing. And it was kind of magical for like a split second. Like, when I say snowing, I mean I saw a flake or two in the sky. They were actually coming from the Scientology Christmas display. In that moment, I thought about joining. Kidding. It was probably like Snope, like snow soap. It definitely wasn't like snow crystals. People love Snope here. I think they have Snope at the Grove. It's like little soap bubbles that look like snow. Except it's obviously soap. Oh my god, it would have been a much better time if it was cocaine bubbles. In that day. Although I'm not condoning use of drugs, but people gotta do what they wanna do. You gotta be free. (2003) or 2002. I was really stoned, I can't remember. I don't even know how I got here. I was one day in Faneuil Hall and I'm kidding, I drove. It was 2002. Okay, Amoeba Records. We'll walk real slow. I'm always afraid I'm gonna get GTA style punched. The way I punch people in GTA. I would have loved to have lived above a record store, although I would have probably never been able to pay my rent when I was younger and bought records. I know, and the crazy thing is, I've been taking pictures at least 15 years of that time. I like to mention that we'll look in the record store. When my first driver's license in California came from the W Hotel here, which was the DMV was over here. It looks like a terrible motor crash. Every once in a while I'll buy an album, even though I don't play it. I kind of like having them. I do have a record player. We have 2 record players actually, but I mostly just download stuff onto my Apple rectangle, do-it-all phone. I don't look at people in the eyes, usually. I try not to look at people in the eyes anymore. I used to look at everybody to try to let them know it's okay. But now I just I shoegaze. I do make eye contact with people driving cars because I want them to know I see them and I'm not going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Isn't that a Miley Cyrus song? You know, I heard Party in the USA the other day, and I gotta say, it didn't sound like much of a party of a song. It sounded more like a kickback in the USA. It's the laziest party song I've ever heard. I think it's the first time I heard the whole thing. I believe it. I don't stare down anybody anymore. Because I have a punchable face. So now I try not to look at people because they think I'm a cop or the CIA or Parks and Recreation or someone screamed, "Are you an anthropologist?" one day. I was wearing a disproportionate amount of khaki, I think. Joseph taught me that, and Joseph's mother taught him that. You have to look people in the eyes as you're crossing or they'll run you over. I just threw caution to the wind before Joseph. All right, I gotta stay focused or we'll walk completely by the bird. Birdie, I think we named it. Remember Birdie, the annoying pilot bird from McDonald Land? What was Birdie? I really tried to just be an observer. So I try to stay out of people's way. I figure a lot of people that were mixing with are on vacation, and this is their one chance to see Hollywood or Los Angeles or a museum or wherever we happen to be. And so I try to stay out of people's way. I try not to film people. I try not to make fun of people, and that is really hard. You'll hear me every once in a while, but not mean, make fun of, just, you know. I'm always surprised by who is really nice, because people will say, hey, are you streaming? And I'll be like, yeah. And the hair stands up on the back of my neck. And they'll be like, oh, can I say hi to the chat? And they'll be really nice. Or they'll ask am I streaming, and they'll say something ridiculous or swear or try to say something dirty as we walk by. Fortunately, we never catch it. I don't know. It's a mixed bag. People are strange when you're a stranger. Or if you have a punchable face like me. I realized I move my face a lot, like almost like a Tourette's type thing, which I'm sure I could get diagnosed with Tourette's. So I'm constantly moving my mouth when I'm not talking, like playing with the inside of my mouth. I knew I did it. I just didn't know how bad until I started filming videos where I was showing my face. And I was like, oh my God, my mouth is moving all the time. Whoa. But most of the time, people are pretty nice when they want to say hi to the chat. And I always want to have an open heart. But I don't like when I perceive people are giving me dirty looks, so I just tend to look down. Because I have no poker face, so if I feel like somebody's giving me a dirty look, I will not be able to control my face, and I will give them a dirty look as well. So I try to look like I'm looking over at something across the street. Woo! Or I do something like that, where I catch my cord on a bush. I think I can unplug this now. Can you imagine if there was a place on Earth where you could feel like you step back into the wild, wild west and also get a pizza, a haircut, or a T-Mobile telephone? Well, it's right here in Los Angeles at Gower Gulch. I've really grown a lot since doing this. I was really self-conscious at the beginning, afraid to go in anywhere, afraid that people would think I was filming myself or filming them or punch my face. We're taking a right here at Gower. After I cross the street, we're gonna check on the bird at Studio 15, right? I don't know if it was 15, but I'm assuming it was right there. I feel like LA people don't hate New York as much as East Coast people hate LA. I think LA is easier to hate. It's light out till like 8 o'clock now. I went to bed at 9:50 last night and I woke up at 5 o'clock on the dot this morning. And then I went and added a bunch of live streams and added a bunch of thumbnail pictures to it. To those and descriptions. I like to do that stuff when it's quiet. Yeah, I've been waking up, actually usually wake up between 5 and 5:30, and maybe for the past couple of weeks I've been waking up between 5:30 and 6, except for one day I think I slept till 8:30. I did like 2 live streams and walked like 18 miles that day. I deserved a little extra sleep. But I have no problem going to sleep or waking up without an alarm clock. And I used to never be able to wake up on time for anything. I used to be eternally late for everything up until I was maybe 40. I think everybody just gets jealous of Los Angeles or New York or the bigger city. In Boston, we made fun of New York also, you know, even though New York was our city. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I hope it doesn't ruin our Cinco de Mayo, because we're going all the way to Mariachi Plaza. I keep calling it Mariachi Square, but it's Mariachi Plaza. Oh, crap. One of these they filmed Bewitched in. I can't remember if it's 3 or 6. I remember Sunset LA, you just told me the other day. I love mariachi. I love anything with those horns. Oh, it was 3. I've got a fantastic umbrella. Stage 4, thank you. Dun, dun. I can't imagine Elizabeth Montgomery walking out of that every day and seeing those houses. I don't know why. It's weird. I never knew Bewitched was filmed here for some reason. Until you maybe told me recently it was Screen Gems. And then still I didn't even put this... Wait, I'm getting confused. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah, I'm sure she used to go out onto the lot and be driven home in her Mercedes by her husband, who was the producer, right? I wonder, did she live in the Valley? I'm kind of obsessed now that I knew she worked here. I want to know, where did Samantha Stevens actually live? And I know it's Elizabeth Montgomery. William Asher. I remember his name from the credits. That's what I'm thinking. I also couldn't imagine Agnes Moorehead walking up to the studio. The parking for it, I think, is on the next street over. There's a lot. All right. Let's check on Birdie. It's been pretty windy. The craziest thing about this sign is there's no need for this sign because it's just there. Pardon my copter. Okay. I feel like I've seen part of Los Angeles plays itself. Alright. The other day, when we came by here, there was a bird in this sign. This is really obtrusive, but tell me if you see it. I don't see Birdie. I'm going to, no, I was going to show you the bird though, but it's not there. It's out catching worms. Why don't I drive around? I don't have a car. I gave up my car in October. And I hardly miss it at all. LA is way more walkable than one would think. You just have to find clever ways to walk around. He's camera shy, that bird. Hey, Robert, thank you so much for being here. This is our channel, Walking in Los Angeles. That's our old, at the beginning of the show, we used to show that. Then somebody said, nobody likes that. Like a YouTube guru said it was useless to do an intro. So I just cut to the chase with a howdy do and the dates. They're cute, but they're going to kill us all. And I don't mean like Alfred Hitchcock birds type way. We talked about this yesterday or earlier in the stream. They carry disease from continent to continent. They could be just taking a nap. That's a pretty big bird apartment, actually. It's a shotgun style apartment. It goes really deep. All right, I'm gonna go up Tamarind. The only thing scarier than a dog on a leash is a kid running in front of his parents towards a busy street. A dog off a leash, I mean. J.D. Walker. Oh my gosh. I've never seen this before, and we'll probably never see it again because it's pretty tacky and I don't know what the significance of it is, but that is the worst rendition of Marilyn Monroe I've ever seen. It looks like What was Sylvester Stallone's blonde wife with the short hair? Who's a beautiful one, don't get me wrong. It wasn't a very good Marilyn. It looked like Jackie Stallone. Is that Sylvester Stallone's mother? Remember his blonde wife? His first wife, right? I always want to really be careful about criticizing other people's art, though, because I can't draw Marilyn Monroe either. I have a hard time drawing a dinner bell. Look at these cutie little old wood houses. Agreed. I don't think I've walked up this street in quite a while. This looks like an old Sears house. You know, it's houses that Sears used to sell. That would be awesome if somebody did that again. Sold houses like that, and then they would just come and build them for you. Looks like the Sunset High is about to go bye-bye. Yep, gonna be demolished. I want to come back and pick the sign off, though. Right? They're like little anchors. You find them. They survived like the 60s or 50s when this street probably got made over for the first time. And then the 2000s. I love it when there's just like one little old house surrounded by modern buildings. Like, do you remember, oh my gosh, the TV show Webster? Webster lived in like an old house that was like flanked by skyscrapers, I think. You mean the Sunset High? That almost reminds me of the building I live in right now, except my building is wider. Our building doesn't look like a motel. It's just like a big courtyard building that's kind of ugly and beige, pinkish beige. Uh-huh. Remember Webster's mom had like red spiky hair, kind of like the chick from ABBA? Her hair, I can't remember that actress's name, but she was really bizarre looking for American television. She had like short, bright red hair. But like dyed red hair. She was a lovely person on the show and had a nice, lovely motherly way about her, but I can't remember how they got Webster. Susan Clark. This would be a good setting. We're waiting for this Cane's to open before we get Cane's. It's on the former Arby's. Oh my gosh. I'm getting pricked by rose bushes right now. Oh, I think the chopped cheese is no more. There was a really nice little restaurant there called the Chopped Cheese. And it was basically like a loose meat sandwich. Like loose beef with cheese on a bun. And who was the husband? He was kind of like a famous, wasn't he like a football player maybe? Or something like that. Alex Karras, yeah. This is my chance. I don't know why I'm stopping. I made eye contact with the minivan, don't worry. Rosie Greer. I remember reading Rosie Greer did needlepoint, or maybe he did it in a commercial. A football player also. I don't really know much about football. I loved Victor Victoria, actually. I remember seeing that movie on Betamax cassette. I made my mother rent it for me. I had no idea what it was about. I think just Mary Poppins was in it. Also, my mother probably didn't know what it was about. Anyway, she also let me rent All That Jazz. And jazz it was not. Astrostorm, hey. I feel like I remember them being married in real life also. I feel like she was a very tall woman. Susan Clark. Right? The Beta was the best. Our Betamax was old when we had it. It had, instead of like, you know, a remote control, it had a remote control to change the channels, but it was on a cord. And instead of like buttons, it had knobs to change the channels on the Betamax. But somebody broke in and stole our Betamax VCR. It also had wood, fake wood on it. It was quite a handsome VCR. Wow. Ed Ruscha, no. I'm gonna just let the light go. I keep thinking this billboard says running pants. Pretty nice sunset. Hey Guyana, hey you guys. It was a handsome Betamax unit. I loved being able to record stuff too, stupid stuff. I think the first year that we got it, I just like filled it up with Christmas specials. Because I don't think you could really buy stuff like that in those days. I would also love to sit there and try to edit the commercials out by hitting pause. Or recording videos off MTV, the original mixed tape, for me anyway. Actually, I'd made mixed tapes also. All right, we're about to cross the 101 and then we can take a look at downtown and see it from a distance. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. We are just at the 101. I'm going to sign off, and Joe, what are you gonna play tonight? I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna look Ed Ruscha up. A little downtown. GTA 5 one last time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll be on tomorrow, come rain or shine, in Mariachi Plaza. If it's your first time here, please give us a like. It might be too late to chat, but you can always chat next time. Thank you guys for supporting humans, or human. And if you were just a lurker here, know that you are loved. George Berger, Georges Berger. Again, thank you so much for the support. Yas. You guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Also hit the love button. Thank you so much. Cute. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye. Wow. Thanks, George.